Welcome to DrKatinaTalks, the podcast where we explore the journey to a more fulfilling, balanced, and meaningful life. I'm your host, Dr. Katina, and this is the final episode of Season 1. But it's not a goodbye, it's a time for rest. And today, I want to share something deeply personal with you, my journal entry from January 17th, 2024. Today, I cried like a baby. I could not stop crying. I read my mother's letter from 45 years ago, addressed to my grandmother. The yellowing paper, stuffed inside of an envelope, still revealing the stamp, postmark, and addresses, held her anguish, and it was pouring through the page. Her anguish was over the pain of not being able to get back her baby, who was taken from her at just 10 months old. She was 16, and this letter revealed that she tried to get me back until I was 6. I ruminated over the fact that her life was filled with trauma, pain, and emptiness, which ended when she was only 37, lost to alcoholism. I had only met her 2 years before her death. I cried at the thought of my father, physically and spiritually beautiful, yet broken. A man who carried unspeakable trauma from childhood into adulthood. In his adult life, he faced homelessness and addiction. And even though he conquered those battles in the end, he passed away at just 47 from cancer. I sat in my comfortable yellow study chair with my bare feet feeling the coolness of my blue Italian marble floor and the softness of the edges of my Turkish rug. I sat clutching this letter, and I was grief-stricken when I realized I had lived past the age of them both. And despite my childhood experiences, I now have so much joy, love, laughter, happiness, and peace that neither of my parents ever had in their own short lives. I realize today I have to tell their story, my story, our story. That journal entry was written on a day when grief and gratitude collided in me. And I knew then, without a doubt, Season 2 of this podcast has to go deeper. You've gotten to know my voice, my lessons, and my heart this season. But there's more. There's the story of a little girl who was taken. The story of the mother who tried but couldn't get her back. The story of the father who meant well but didn't know how to love past his own pain. And the story of the woman, that's me, who survived it all and somehow turned the pain into peace. So, in Season 2, I'll be opening that door. I'll be telling the parts of my life that shaped everything. My work, my relationships, my healing, and the way I see the world. In the next season, you'll hear more of my personal story, yes, but also how we make beauty out of broken pieces, the power of forgiveness, and making peace with the things in life we could not control. I'm taking time this summer to rest, to write, and to prepare, because this next season isn't just content, it's legacy work. It's truth-telling, it's healing, and I want to do it right. Thank you for being here with me for Season 1. Thank you for every download, every share, every kind message. And thank you for listening, not just to my voice, but to my heart. If you haven't already, make sure you're following the podcast so you'll know exactly when Season 2 drops this fall. Until then, stay well, stay grounded, and stay open to your own healing. Bye for now.